Hi, welcome back to Wander in Faith. My name's Emily and this is episode 6. It's nuts to think we've already been at this 6 weeks, but here we are. Let's start today's video off with prayer and then we'll dive into learning about Rebekah, another woman of the Bible. Dear Father, thank you for gathering us here today. Thank you for allowing those willing and wanting to learn more to come forward. Allow our minds and our hearts to be open to whatever truths you wish to share. We ask this through your name, Yahweh Elohim, in the name of your Son, Yeshua Messiah. Amen. So, Rebekah. She's the daughter-in-law of Sarah because she ends up marrying Isaac, who's the son of Sarah and Abraham. So that makes her the third woman mentioned in the Bible. So it goes Eve, Sarah, Rebekah. And I know my series has been out of order, but that's okay. So Rebekah meets Isaac because of Abraham wanting Isaac to marry another Yahweh follower. Servant goes out to a well, says a prayer, and before the prayer is finished being said, Rebekah shows up at the well. And so we learn of a cool wedding tradition within this part of the meeting. In Genesis chapter 24, verse 64 to begin. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she dismounted from her camel and said to the servant, "Who is that man walking in the field to meet us?" The servant said, "It is my master." So she took her veil and covered herself. So right there tells you what the wedding veil means. It's a sign of purity and modesty. It actually shows you if your husband truly loves you as a person from like your whole being inside out. And I think that's just a cool tradition. I never realized that it was biblically tied in until I read that and did a little research, and sure enough, that's why. So Rebekah has 2 sons with Isaac, Esau and Jacob. Esau being the older, Jacob being the younger. Isaac favors big brother, Rebekah favors little brother. So she wanted Jacob to have the birthright of Isaac and not her oldest son. So one day, while her oldest was out in a field doing his hunting, doing his manly man thing, she tricks Isaac, because he was going blind, into blessing her youngest son, Jacob, to give over the birthright. And come to find out, it worked, but big brother comes home from the field. He finds out. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of sibling rivalry. But why do I bring all that up? The reason being is Rebekah went against what God had wanted. God did mention earlier in the Bible that the oldest shall serve the youngest. And that should have came naturally on its own, but Rebekah took things into her own hands. And it just shows that there are consequences to that. Unfortunately, Jacob and his mother separated ways, and she didn't get to have her young son along her side for quite some time. But we can see how this works while following Yahweh. We are imperfect, and he knows that. And there's no shame in being imperfect. It just shows that sometimes we just need to trust the adventure that's in front of us. And that's hard to do, especially if there's certain things you want accomplished. And I can say from my heart of hearts, there's plenty I thought I was doing my way, and I learned the hard way that it's not a good idea. Fair example would be just figuring out what direction to take a career when I was younger. I mean, I've been through all kinds of hoops, but I think I'm on a path I want to be at, and that's just being open and preaching about Yahweh. No, I am not a pastor. I'm not a minister. Making that clear. That is the role of a man, as stated in the book of Titus. But Rebekah shows that the adventure is worth waiting for. And we just need to know that it's okay to struggle with trusting Yahweh, but we just need to trust him regardless. And Yahweh's going to love us no matter what. We are imperfect. And that's okay. We were created perfect until the sin of Adam and Eve. And from there on, we were no longer. That's why Yeshua was brought into the picture. It all makes sense. But that's all right. I am proud to say I'm perfectly imperfect because I have the grace and faith of Yahweh in me. And I hope you can also say that. And no matter what, Yahweh has mercy for whatever we do. So I'm just going to wrap today up with that. And once again, Designed by Amuna is up and running. Feel free to grab whatever you need. I'm working on some new designs, between a job, being a mom, running this. I haven't really updated, but I'm working on it, so I apologize. There's plenty on there for you to see though. And as you see, we got a new background. So baby steps, guys, baby steps. We're cruising along with some updates. But yeah, outside of that, just enjoy your day, be blessed, and forever speak the words of Yahweh. Bye, y'all.